What's up? What's up? All right, hold on. Give me 1 second here. All right, cool. I'm live in multiple places right now. I mean, I don't think the only place I'm not live is Instagram and a few other ones, but primarily. What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to talk about President Trump. Iran put it out there. Now, I can imagine because the intel on this came from Israel. So a lot of people are going to say, oh, no, it's not true. It's not true. But I think it's pretty accurate. I mean, I think we can all believe it because what's happening in Iran. Now, just to be clear, I'm not an expert on Iran. I'm not a military expert or anything like that. It's just all based on my opinion. It's all for entertainment purposes. It's all just to have the discussion about it. And actually, before I went live here, I did a short video talking about this. And I put it on various locations. I didn't put it on TikTok or Rumble or Threads, or I did put it on Threads, but I didn't put it on some of the other ones. But anyways, I'm going to open up the phone line. I know on TikTok you can bring people in through the TikTok app, but I can't bring people in from Threads. I can't bring people in from Facebook or YouTube or Rumble or X. Or pill.net or Getter. So I'm going to open up the phone line and people can give me a call and we can have the discussion about this and we can talk about the different things that's going on. One of the things that I want to talk about briefly here is Charlie Kirk. Now, I haven't seen the footage, and apparently they said people have seen the footage themselves, but I haven't seen the footage myself. And they were saying that they actually saw the video of him actually doing Charlie Kirk. They said they actually saw the video on it. So I don't know what's going to come of it or what's going to happen next. A lot of people are saying that he should he should be done with completely, but we shall see. That's not for me to determine. It's not for me to decide. I'm pretty sure the court system is going to decide all of that. So, but anyways, hey, if you would please share this video. Share this video. I know it's been a while since I've gone live. And I'm pretty sure that I know that it happens all the time. And I don't know why. Some people just automatically look at the video and they get triggered because I'm wearing a MAGA hat. I mean, I do get to be who I want to be. I get to support who I want to support, do I not? I mean, I support the one that's for all of us. I mean, every last one of us. That's what I support. But anyways, let's get into this. So let me read this to you because this is the statement, and this statement came across early this morning. It came across early this morning about President Trump. It says Israel is reporting warnings the U.S. is about to see a fresh Iran attempt plot against President Trump as tensions reignite between the United States and the Islamic Republic, according to the Wall Street Journal. Now, the Wall Street Journal put this out information. The reported intelligence would mark the escalation into the longstanding threat against President Trump, who Iran has repeatedly vowed to retaliate against over the 2020 U.S. strikes that took out Soleimani. Y'all remember that? Took out Soleimani. While overseas, President Trump was overseas at the recent NATO summit. President Trump reiterated how badly he says Iran wants him gone, permanently sleeped. Permanently gone. This is what Iran is wanting. They're wanting him permanently gone. It's pretty disgusting. Now, me personally, and this just to be clear, I don't like the fight. Now, I love a good debate. I like it when we go back and forth, having conversations with one another. I do enjoy those conversations, and especially ones that we don't agree with each other. I don't have any issues with it. I think it makes for a lively conversation. I don't live in an echo chamber. I do not live in an echo chamber where I say one thing and it just comes back. Oh, yeah, I agree. Yep. America's wonderful. Bing, 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 bing. America's wonderful. Yep, I agree. Which I do agree. But I don't live in an echo chamber. I actually want to have conversation with people who disagree with me. And as I mentioned before, I'm going to open up the phone line. I don't even know if anybody's going to even call me, right? I don't even know if anybody's going to call me. We shall see. They might just be too scared to call me. I mean, a lot of times that happens. I'm going to put the phone number up here in a minute. You'll see it right over here. I'll put the number up in just a minute. But I want to share some of this other stuff with you, if I can, about what's happening with this whole situation about Iran wanting to go after President Trump and permanently remove him from the planet. Now, again, this is just news reporting. And I have to say this because we're on TikTok. This is just news reporting. No one is calling. I'm not calling for anyone to be injured. I'm just doing a report on it. TikTok algorithm. Okay. I'm just doing a reporting on it so people will know this is being reported. No one here is advocating for it. No one's advocating for anybody to be hurt, to be harmed. Okay. I have to say that because of what they're saying in these reports. That's all it is. Okay. Because I don't want to lose my TikTok. I really don't. I mean, I'm not on TikTok that much, but I still don't want to lose it.
Israel has warned the United States that Iran hatched a plot to assassinate President Trump. KT McFarland joins me now. KT, they're huge posters now. We're not even going to show them. But
okay, hold on. I didn't even realize that, but my audio is not going to TikTok. So give me 1 second, everybody. Let me fix that. Let me fix it. Because I want you to hear what they're saying, okay? I mean, I guess I could leave the audio out of TikTok altogether, but no, I'm not going to do that. Especially after I went ahead and explained that this is commentary for me just giving you information. Okay. Let me see, which one is this going to? Can y'all hear my cat? Can you hear my cat going off in here? Okay, to TikTok. I don't know why my cat's in here. Can y'all hear my cat? Yeah, I hear you. Yep, I hear you. Okay, here, I know how to fix it. I do apologize. I thought this was it's been a while since I've gone live on TikTok and I didn't think to have this one in here set up. I do know how to operate a computer. Okay, let me see if it's working. I'm gonna take it back. We'll see.
Israel has.
Did that come through? Here, hold on.
Warned the United States.
Okay, yep, it's coming through. Okay, now, sorry about that. Sorry about the delay. Here we go.
Israel has warned the United States that Iran hatched a plot to assassinate President Trump. KT McFarland joins me now. KT, they're huge posters now. We're not even going to show them, but they're huge posters all over Tehran calling for Trump's death, one offering a reward for his killing. How should we respond to this? This is really direct now, like it never has been before.
You know, I've worked for 4 presidents, and they've always, assassination attempts come with the job. I even worked for Reagan when he was almost died from an assassination attempt. But President Trump he's really fatalistic about it, and he's not fazed by it. And even when he was in Ankara, Turkey, he said, look, it comes with the job. They've tried. I'm the #1 target of any assassin in the world. And
I mean, President Trump knows that they're wanting to come after him because he's doing the right thing. I mean, this has been going on for 47 years, and President Trump has been the only president that's putting his foot down and saying enough is enough. It needs to come to an end. We need to stop this, right? President Trump is the only one. And now, of course, you have the liberals, the Democrats in the United States of America. And part of the reason why I want to talk about this is because they're acting like they're concerned, especially when it comes to the new Air Force One plane. Is the new Air Force One plane, is it retrofitted to protect the president? Knowing good and well, we know how they feel about President Trump. We know how they feel about President Trump, and they're acting like they're so concerned about President Trump and his well-being overseas while he's at the NATO summit. I mean, anyone believe it? I mean, come on. I mean, I guess they got to put on the show, though, right? I guess they got to put on the show. But anyways, this threat comes after, you know, all this stuff has been happening over in the Middle East. And it's not just Trump that they want to go after. I mean, they really, my personal opinion here, okay, it's just my opinion, they really want to go after the United States of America. They have words. They have words that they've expressed for the United States of America. All right. Okay, so here, hold on. I'm going to put the phone number up on the screen for anyone who wants to give me a call. We'll do this. There it is. There's the hotline number, 319-527-3453. If you want to give me a call, again, just keep it PG-13. Have respect for yourself. You don't have to have any respect for me. Just show it for yourself. All right, there's the number, 319-527-3453. If you want to give me a call, I greatly appreciate it. Tell me what you think. I'm wondering how many people on Threads, especially Threads. Now, you know, let me say this really quick. I thought when I was on TikTok the first time and just the level of just the colorful comments that I would receive, I mean, above and beyond the colorful comments, y'all know what I'm talking about? I thought it was pretty bad because I'm supporting President Trump. I love my country. And I thought it was pretty bad. Nothing compared to what they do on Threads. I mean, you're a bunch of schoolgirls on TikTok compared to Threads. I mean, Threads, you can say anything and nothing happens to these people. I mean, nothing, because they keep coming back with the most despicable things you can think of to say. I mean, some of the stuff I didn't even know it existed, but they turn around and they still say it. Nonetheless, they're still saying it, which I find is like, wow. But you know what? I'm not complaining about it. And you know why I'm not complaining about it? Because I 100% agree with free speech. You will always hear me say that, even when I don't like it, especially when I don't like it. All right, I got someone calling in. Look, go ahead and give me a call. Come on, everybody, give me a call. I don't bite. Let's see what we get here. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, is it me?
It is you. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh, it's Kate in Colorado.
Kate from Colorado. Hey, Kate, thank you so much for the call.
The miserable state of Colorado, they've destroyed it.
You know, Colorado is such a beautiful state. I visited Denver, Colorado, more than 20 years ago. And I remember when I was there, every day about 4 o'clock, somewhere around that time, the clouds would come over the mountain. It would rain just a little bit. Then the sun would come back out. It's such a beautiful, beautiful state. And you're right. The commies have destroyed it.
It used to be a nice red state. I'm a native, and they have destroyed it. And I'm calling because I hate to sound like we have a huge problem in this country everyone's ignoring. It's the Islamists are completely taking over this country. And I just wanted to bring more awareness to it. Everyone's ignoring it.
A lot of people are ignoring it, but I think the issue is that what's bringing it to the forefront is the socialism. They're
Oh, they're
100%
supporting.
for socialism. We have Mamdani, and he endorsed these people and the Islamists, the socialists. It's all socialism. So if you want to refer to them, just say socialist, because then you got all of them covered. Not just them, but you got the ones who's wanting to implement it. Right?
Well, that is true. And did you see today where they want to get rid of the Senate, get rid of SCOTUS, get rid of the president, and start? I mean, it's going to take a while, but that's still their goal.
Well, yeah, you know what? It's been their goal. It's been their goal for some time to get rid of they want to stack the Supreme Court. For one, they want to stack the Supreme Court. They want more justices on there. They want radical justices on there. So then that way they can push whatever it is that they want through, and no one can say anything.
Well, that is true. And that's what they're going to do if they regain power.
Yes.
So
that's exactly what they're going to do.
But I think you need to also call attention to the radical Islam. I mean, look at New York City.
That's the socialism.
Well, it is socialism. But
that's the socialism.
They're trying to take over.
Yeah, that's the socialism. These socialist democrats, that is their objective. Everything that is about Islam, from my research and my studies on it, is socialism. There's no difference.
It is. It is. And they're trying to take over the country from within, and they're being very successful.
They're successful so far, but we have an opportunity this November to tell them no. We have an opportunity this November to tell them no.
I was a Democrat 10 years ago. I didn't like Trump, and now I'm like ultra MAGA. I love him.
You know what? I'm the same. You know what? When Trump was doing Apprentice, I couldn't stand him. I thought he was arrogant. I thought he was rude. But now I understand. All he was asking people to do is their jobs and be honest. That's all he was asking. And when they were not doing their jobs and then they were not being honest, he would fire them. It's the same thing that he's doing today. But they don't like that. They love it when people lie.
Yeah, the more I've looked into Trump, the more and listened to people who've known him for decades, the more I just love the man now. But I agree with you. Back, I never liked him until, and you know what it was? I have friends from Cuba, quite a few from Russia, Poland, and China, and they all are Trump Republicans, and they were all telling me the same thing in 2016, where the Democrat Party is going and how communism takes over. And I saw it on the mainstream media. Yeah. And it's, Yeah,
that's exactly, they're trying. They're trying. All of this talk about Puerto Rico becoming a state, DC becoming a state, removing the Electoral College, having 4 more justices on the Supreme Court. All of that is the socialist agenda. They've been pushing it for years, getting rid of the Constitution. They've said that the Constitution is an out-of-date document and it should not be relevant today. But they'll use the Constitution when they can weaponize it against the American people. Other than that, they want to get rid of it. Our
founding fathers, that Constitution was put in place to protect us from those socialists.
100%. 100%. So we have to do what we can to keep it. We have to do what we can to keep it. So, well, thank you so much for the call.
Thank you, Will. I love your show.
God bless. Take care.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
Okay. The phone line's open, everybody. I don't bite. Is there anybody watching that disagree with me? I mean, seriously, here's your opportunity to call me. And again, I did put the little videos out there for people to give me a call. And we shall see if someone's going to call me. Look, I don't bite that hard. I really don't. I don't bite that hard. Okay, let me show you some more about what Iran is talking about. And of course, this is just news reporting. Okay, this is just the reporting on what's going on. I don't want any of this happening. I despise the violence. All right, I really do. I don't think we should have heated discussions fine all day long. But no violence, zero. I have zero tolerance for it. None at all. Can we just have a conversation? That's just me. But listen to this report here.
We got to hang this first little bit of news on the Wall Street Journal. They've got a source telling them that Israel relayed to the U.S. intelligence about a new plot to assassinate President Trump. And frankly, it doesn't come as a surprise. The Iranians in particular have not been subtle about it. If you look at the banners that they displayed during the final day of the funeral for the late Grand Ayatollah Ali Khamenei in Mashhad, Iran, the banners read, "We will kill Trump." Comments from the mourners were, "By the blood of the martyred Ayatollah, we will kill Trump," and things of that nature. Now, a U.S. official says despite Iran violating the memorandum of understanding by firing on those commercial ships in the Straits, the talks are still happening behind the scenes to bring an end to this war. General Keith Kellogg says the Iranians need to get the message that the U.S. is serious.
You take that 14-point MOU and you throw it away. And you start to make the Iranians understand that we are not equals in this fight at all. There's three demands we have. One is we're going to send the IAEA to get the enriched uranium and the centrifuges. Number two, we're going to open up the Strait of Hormuz. And if you attack it, we'll attack back. The third, you're going to lay off your neighbors. You're going to stop shooting at Kuwait. You're going to stop shooting at the Emirates.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke by phone with President Trump yesterday. Netanyahu does not want President Trump to sell F-35 fighter jets to Turkey. He says it will upset the balance of power in the Middle East. Netanyahu emphasized statements made by Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan in the past against the existence of the State of Israel.
You see that? And let me put that one there. But y'all see that? So Iran is pushing it to the edge. I think they want this. Okay, we got some more phone calls in here. I'm not sure what order they came in, so let's just go with the first one here. All right. PG-13. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from? You there, caller?
Hello.
Hello. What's your first name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Will, it's Scriptall. My name is Barb. How you doing?
Hey, thank you so much for the call.
Yeah, I just happened to see you on here, and I go, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I hear something in the phone, so I said, I'm going to call anyway. How you doing?
I'm doing
Good.
great. So we're talking about Iran threatening President Trump. So,
I think he needs to take him down.
no one wants any violence to happen, but we just want them to be peaceful. And President Trump is trying to give them every single opportunity in the world for them to do that. And that's all he's asking for. And then, of course, the left, they say, oh, he's taco. Trump always chickens out. When President Trump doesn't want the violence. He doesn't. He wants them to be prosperous. It's amazing.
Right.
It's amazing.
He's given them enough chances, but all they're doing is playing games. And, I was just on Facebook a little while ago, and I see all these people still laughing about all the fake stuff they're saying with Charlie and with Trump. And, all I do is I go through is block everybody.
Yeah.
Because I get so aggravated. I'm like, these people don't understand what's really happening is happening, but they're so blinded by this mainstream media stuff that they have no idea what's going out there. And so then I go to post memes because they don't seem to understand what I'm saying. So I post the memes with all the little, this is the blue wave of the Democrat Party, the one where the little pee-pee's coming out of the toilet in the bathrooms. And I'm like, well, they don't seem to understand anything. But yeah, Trump's played around too much with these people, and we say it every day. It's time, because they're laughing at him. They're like, oh, let's play this little man some more. And he needs to just do what's got to be done, get it done.
Yeah, I think
the people already hate him. The Democrats hate him. There's people out there that hate him. So what's it going to hurt, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to end up coming down to that. I mean, I think they're pretty much giving President Trump no choice. That's what's pretty much happening here. They're saying they're not giving him a choice. So
that's exactly what's happening. And I haven't watched I keep going back and forth to all the channels, and I seen you were on again. I said, I thought I just watched you this afternoon. So I'm like, when did you get another show? So I'm like completely confused.
Well, that's okay. Well, I'm glad you did tune in. Where did you see it at?
I was actually on Facebook when I seen you you made a post to call you that you don't bite. So I'm like, you can't be on now again, Kemi. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to try and see if this is for real, which obviously it was. So I'm like, okay. Yeah, I saw it on Facebook because I go back and forth to all of them, to share everything. Mm-hmm. And just because I like to aggravate the people on my page.
Well, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the call.
Okay, thanks, Will. Bye-bye.
Right, take care. Bye. Okay, let's go to the next one here. This one looked like was a Michael from Michigan. Is that right?
Yeah.
How you doing, sir?
You got me?
I got you.
Good. This is Mikey from Michigan. We have to deal with Al Sayed.
Oh, and
the other guy.
That's the one in Colorado, right?
No, there's a guy up here in Michigan that's
that's
sitting
right. He's
in
Michigan.
the bad part.
That's right. Yeah, he's in Michigan. Yep. And he actually there's a video with him where he's saying that they need to defund the police. He was another one that was saying that need to get rid of we need to stack the courts. He was another one saying that. All of this is their socialist agenda trying to push that.
You know what? You should start another program called Willpower.
You know what? I like that. Willpower.
I hope you do. I hope you start a third program. So I called in for playing the devil's advocate, and I wanted to argue against you and play the liberal.
Oh, really?
Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Are you ready?
Go ahead. Just keep it PG-13.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll start with that. You're just being a nanny boo-boo. You're just so mean at the totally peaceful people over there in Iran. They're totally peaceful. I don't know why you're making such a big deal about it. You just need to leave them alone. They're unhappy because, you hurt their supreme leader. And that affects everybody in such a way. Oh dear. Why are you doing this? Why are you conservatives being such meanies?
Yeah, that's pretty much
How was it? Not too bad. I have tons more. But we'll leave it for a later time.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty spot on. Pretty good. I think you should infiltrate.
I did. Trust me, I've been infiltrating. I'm getting new stuff. So please keep Michigan in mind because we are going through a lot. There's a lot of people that are having troubles. They're keeping it quiet because of the job situations, but people like what's her name that's going against her, Haley Stevens. She's a real problem. I called her up and she actually fired back at me. She was very angry about what I had to say to her about the truth. So Haley Stevens is just as bad.
Yeah, I can see.
And Alyssa Slotkin. We could keep on going. They're
socialists is what I call them. So. But hey, Michael, thank you so much for the call.
You're welcome. Have a good one.
You too. Take care. All right. Let me show you another one. And this was President Trump while he was at the NATO summit. And one of the reporters asked President Trump about the attempt and what's happening. Now, of course, again, this is just reporting on this. I got to say that for TikTok because no one here is advocating for it. They're just asking questions about what's being reported. Okay, listen.
Thank you, President Trump. Stephen Nelson from the New York Post. I'd like you to address speculation that you're leaving Ankara not in the new Air Force One because of security concerns involving Iran. You've spoken today twice about them possibly assassinating you and possibly being successful. Did that concern have something to do with it?
Well, I speak about it a lot because, the life of a president is very dangerous. It's 5.2%. You know what a race car driver is? 1/10 of 1%. a bull rider. That looks pretty dangerous to me. It's 0.1%. No, it's 5.2% is you don't make it. You should have told me. You're an excellent reporter. You should have told me that years ago. Maybe I wouldn't have run. It's a very dangerous profession. No, I'm number one on the kill list for Iran. They're lovely people. I'm number one. So I don't know. I can't tell you that, but I don't really care because I'm doing my job and I'm doing it, I hope, better than anybody's ever done it, because we have a country that's hot and really, really successful. But I mention it only because it's on the list. I mean, it came out. There was another list came out yesterday, and I'm number one on. I like being number one on TikTok better, but I'm number one on the list for killing. Go ahead.
Hey, Sean McCreation, New York Times. But why aren't you flying the new plane home?
Say what?
Why aren't you flying on the new Air Force One home?
It's flying to Europe, to one of the big bases, 2 or 3 of the big bases, where we can show it to the people, and we'll be going home by normal methods. But we have it going to Europe, to a couple of bases, actually one in particular, but it's going to go to a couple of bases, stop, so the soldiers can see it, because it's truly magnificent. Yeah, please? Go ahead. Do you want to go?
You know what's interesting is that they're trying to make up reasons and excuses on why President Trump is not on the new plane. Oh, is it not secure? Is it not safe? Is it not retrofitted? Why is he not on it? And then they make up stuff. President Trump has never come out and said it's not secure, it's not safe. He's never said that, but they come out and they say whatever. For example, there's a video, and I think I have it, where they were asking President Trump, how come he didn't close the windows? Or no, how come we had to close the windows? Why do we have to close the windows, President Trump? And President Trump is saying, you know, I didn't know that I had to close the windows. And it's possibly because there's something outside that they don't want the reporters looking at. Or, I mean, because what? It's not like the bad guys can't see the plane. It got United States of America on the side of it. Did anyone even bring that point up? The liberal media, why did we have to pull the blinds down? Why did we have to pull the shade down on the windows? Are you trying to, should we be concerned? Dude, they can see the plane. It's like, okay, this is how the liberal media thinks. President Trump, someone on the plane told them to close the shades. So they automatically go to the worst case scenario that someone is trying to get us on the airplane. Like if you close down the blinds, the liberals thinking, oh, we close them down, then they can't see us. Like they can't see the plane. This is stuff you can't make up. This is the stuff I'm like, I wish President Trump would say, so when they asked you, not ask, no one has to ask here, when they ask you to pull the blinds down, do you think that they still can't see the plane if we're a threat, if we're under a threat? It's like, oh my goodness, we just cloaked the plane. Liberals. Now, there's 2 videos. This one here, I'm not sure if it's this one or the next one, but I'm just going to play this one first, and then we'll go to the next one if it's not it, where President Trump is actually talking to them on the plane during this time.
You're probably on a dangerous flight because of the sleazebags that we have to deal with.
They think that Iran was possibly thinking trying.
Well, I mean, if they asked you to close your windows, probably they'd feel the way. They didn't ask me to close mine, but if they did, I would have done it. No, these are sick people. So I could see something like that. I didn't know they did that, but I could see something like that.
Were you aware of any credible threat by Iran against Air Force
Well, I have
One?
a threat all the time. I'm number one on their list before you. But if I go, you go. Right?
But was there a specific
perhaps someday you want to change professions.
Perhaps you want to change profession. You know, this is it right here. See, President Trump was just telling them, say, look, they didn't ask me to close the windows. And if they did, I would have. Mr. President, can you close your shade there on the window there? You know, can you do that for us, sir? Yeah, sure. Okay. Now what? It's not like they can't see the plane outside. The liberal media, they don't have any active brain cells. They really don't. I mean, they make this whole thing a big spectacle. Oh my goodness, he asked us to close the blinds down. They asked us to close the shade down on the window. What? Why is that even a story? I mean, they're fishing for something. We got to find something to talk about on the president, and they asking us to close the shade down. So that's what we're going to talk about. I mean, are you kidding me? You know how many times I've been on an airplane and we're sitting there at the gate, and the stewardess come over there over the speaker and says, pull the shades down, especially if it's hot outside, pull the shades down. And for other various reasons, they say pull the shade down. It happens all the time. But in this case, this becomes a huge story about pulling the shades down on the plane. Like, oh, we pulled them down. Now they can't see us. I mean, some stuff you just can't make up. Some stuff you just can't make up. Here's another one, President Trump on there. And I tried to fix the audio as much as possible because it's always that airplane background noise. It's pretty loud. So I tried to bring the audio to where you can hear it as best as possible.
We have many ways we can win, but we've already.
And let me give you a little more content on this. This is President Trump. To my understanding, he was asked a question about Iran. Have we won with Iran? What's going on? And this is President Trump saying that he's on the phone with them. They want a deal. This is before this last threat against President Trump's life from Iran. This is before that. This is before it.
We have many ways we can win, but we've already won militarily. They have very little left, and they want to make a deal so badly. They called a little while ago. They want to make a deal so badly. I just don't know if they're worthy of making the deal. I don't know that they're going to honor the deal. That's the problem.
If they want to make a deal, why do you think they attacked commercial vessels?
Because they're sort of crazy, to be honest with you. They're sort of crazy. They're a little bit out of control, but they want to make a deal badly.
Yeah, they're a little bit out of control, but they want to make a deal badly. And you know why they want to make a deal? Because President Trump is going to end up putting his foot down at some point. Now, with this last information about them attempting to go after President Trump, I don't know if President Trump is going to say, okay, you know what? Let the military do what they need to do. Because President Trump is constantly under threat. Not just from abroad, mind you, okay? Not just from abroad. Personally, on a personal note, I think there's people here in America that happen to be on the other political spectrum that, has ill intentions. I'm just voicing my opinion on it. Have ill intentions on President Trump. But of course, as I mentioned, the liberal media news, they're trying to act like they're so concerned about the airplane. And this is just me doing commentary TikTok. I'm live on TikTok for everybody's watching, okay? I'm live on TikTok as well. This is just commentary, sharing information of what they're saying. And I'm intrigued because now all of a sudden they're acting like, or it's all a facade, my personal opinion, that they're acting like they're so concerned that the plane is not up to par. And that they're so concerned about President Trump's well-being. Personally, I'm not buying it. Are you?
General, can I just ask you what you make of what we're learning here? Obviously, this war began with the United States and Israel in a joint strike, killing the supreme leader and ruler of Iran, along with much of his family and many of the leadership there, and then subsequently in Israeli strikes, some that had seemed to replace them also being killed. That the Wall Street Journal is now reporting that there are plans for Iran to retaliate in kind. What do you take away from this new reporting in the Wall Street Journal?
Hold on really quick. It didn't start. President Trump didn't start this. President Trump didn't randomly, look at Iran because, Obama sent them money. Obama, maybe on the surface, it looked like Obama likes them. So President Trump decided to go after him. That's not how this played out. This is not just something President Trump said, okay, today's the day I'm going to go ahead and do this now because I have nothing else to do. This just didn't start with President Trump. They should go and do the research of what Jimmy Carter did 47 plus years ago. They should go look at what Jimmy Carter did. It didn't start now. And they keep putting that out there. And of course, you have a lot of people believing that nonsense. Oh, President Trump started this. He did this to us. He did this. No. President Trump has been the only president to put his foot down. Do we not want a strong leader? Do we not want a leader to say, you know what? We have to. Now, the left, they always say that, they want to be compassionate and help others. This is helping others by saying that they're not going to be able to do terrible things. This is how you do it. Obama mentioned it. Joe Biden even mentioned it. George Bush mentioned it. Billy Clinton mentioned it. All of them ever since Carter mentioned it, but no one actually did anything about it until now. And now it's a problem for them. Make it make sense.
Well, I'm not surprised. There's a long history of Iran putting people on various lists. As you know, a number of our former officials had to have protection well after their time in government, in fact. And as you described and showed, the mood in the crowd around the funeral procession and so forth was one of anger, defiance, and a quest really for revenge and retribution. So I'm not at all surprised that they would be figuring out if they could take that retribution, how they might do that. We should note, though, again, that there's also a history of a degree of incompetence in what they have done. You may recall the case, in fact, when I was the CIA director, an Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps Quds Force officer tried to hire a hitman in Mexico City to kill the Saudi ambassador to the U.S. in Cafe Milano in Washington. And thankfully, the individual they hired was a DEA force. And we diverted the aircraft to Kennedy International Airport that was carrying that officer home. And the FBI met him at the bottom of the ramp. I hope that this is also a case where they're not able to come up with a competent plan. But no, this is a big warning. I think we should all take it very seriously.
Yeah, and let me ask you about that, because I am aware that Prime Minister Netanyahu, his security situation, which always has that incredibly elevated security situation, has changed and quite dramatically since Israel, since the war began and they took out the Iranian leadership. It's very difficult for him to go outside. It's difficult for him to be in person. That's part of the reason there were all those conspiracy theories early on in the war, right? When people didn't believe he was alive. But his security situation has seemingly permanently changed. I'm just pointing that out, General, because Trump's hasn't, at least visibly, right? And the United States and Israel were partners in that decision and that strike. So do you think that the U.S. intelligence believes that Iran does have the capability to pull off such a strike against the U.S. and its president?
Well, it's a very big difference. Obviously, Prime Minister Netanyahu is well within range of Iranian intermediate range ballistic missiles. President Trump generally is not. But the fact that they changed out the new Air Force One for the old one indicates that they took this very seriously and appropriately so, and wanted to make sure that all the countermeasures that were possibly available were in fact on that aircraft.
So I want to ask you about that, because this whole aircraft imbroglio obviously has raised a lot of concerns, okay, from accepting foreign gifts all the way to security. But on the security front, you have a $400 million jet gifted by Qatar that the president describes as magnificent and is now, I guess, visiting a base in the UK for U.S. soldiers to see. But when there was concern, it couldn't live up to what was necessary to provide the president's security. That's actually pretty stunning to think about that. I mean, why was it being used anyway if it didn't hit that standard?
Who said it didn't hit the standard? Would President Trump be on it at all if it didn't? Who said it didn't? President Trump didn't say that it wasn't secure. And again, do they actually want us to believe that they're concerned about President Trump's well-being? I mean, is anyone buying that? I mean, really, is anyone buying it? Let's hear his response.
Well, it's all based on the threat. Depending on where you're going and what the threat posture is. I don't think there's any threat posture that is elevated, for example, in the UK or heading back to the US or what have you. But while he was out in Turkey, that possibility did loom. Again, it appears that there is credible intelligence about some unspecified threat. And so I think you take the precautions that are available to you. And that's
you know what it possibly could be too? Because there's two planes. And if they're trying to monitor the plane, one plane could be a decoy. Because to my understanding, they didn't find out that this happened until after the fact. Why would President Trump want to make it public what plane he's on and his flight path and all the information? Why would he want to do that? He shouldn't do that. Right? Would you agree? I mean, that possibly President Trump didn't say that. I'm speculating here, right? But it sounds plausible. I mean, that's what I would do. Okay, go ahead and send this one on over there. We got two of them now. Let's go ahead and send this one. I'll get another one. Then I get back another one, and then we'll send that one over there, and we'll send that one over there. He's the president. But they don't have anything to try to get on President Trump, so they make up stuff as they go along, say, oh, it must be a problem. Must be a problem. And again, I don't believe that they're concerned about President Trump's well-being at all. They're not. I just don't think they are. And so I got one more I want to share with you. This was on the Communist News Network, where they're talking about Iran and how many years. And one female on here was like, I've never heard of this 47-year war. Never heard of it. And Scott Jennings, he said something to her that I know she didn't like.
Can a Democratic House and or Senate put some guardrails on Trump?
I doubt it, because he has huge authority as commander in chief. He doesn't listen to Congress. I'm not sure that there's much like the only authority
for what?
The only authority he recognizes, as we were discussing earlier, is the market. So he doesn't want to do something that strengthens the market.
Guardrails for what? To go back to a world where we're all rainbows and unicorns with the Iranians? They've been at war with us for 47 years.
Rainbows and unicorns.
47 years? Okay.
Nobody has been rainbows and unicorns with the Iranians.
Yes, they have been rainbows and unicorns with the Iranians. Hello, Obama. Hello. I mean, do they not remember anything from yesterday? I mean, do they not remember anything? I mean, of course, when it comes to President Trump and they make up the lies about President Trump, they remember that. They don't let that go. But when the actual truth about stuff that makes them look bad, they grow amnesia. All of a sudden, that's how it works, I guess. And it's been 47 years, and it's been no secret. We've known about the conflict and the issue when Reagan was in office. They were talking about it. I remember as a kid seeing news reports about it. I remember Bill Clinton talking to discussions about it when he was in office. Obama sent them money. Come on. It's been no secret. No one, who's been hiding it? Obviously, listen to this. Watch this. It has been rainbows and unicorns, but watch this part.
When I learned about the the first time I've ever heard about the 47-year Iran war was like this year. Like, we don't teach about the 47-year war with Iran in school. Like, it's insulting to actual conflicts
it's insulting
that we've been
to intelligence
involved in.
That you have no idea what the Iranians have done to us for 47 years.
How many Americans have they killed on you?
For 47 years, she had no idea. They weren't teaching in the school? Of course not, especially if you go to public school. I mean, why would they give you that information? Why would they teach you that? Why would they want you to know that? I mean, think about it. Think about it. All right. Oh, look at this. We got another phone call. Look, hey, everybody, give me a call before I get off of here. You want to give me a call? Here's your opportunity. All right. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Gerard Hobson.
Gerard? Hey, Gerard. Thank you so much for the call. What you got?
Okay. I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, I'm voted Democrat, but now I've switched over to independent.
Okay.
Now, okay, when the midterm comes up, I'm finna go full Republican. Now, okay, I got a question to ask you now.
Yes, sir.
I will stick everything that President Trump is doing. And now, since last time when I was Democrat, I had voted, you know what I'm saying? I voted for, be honest with you, I had voted for Joe Biden and I had voted for Kamala. But since, this was it, I had to start doing my research. I started watching all the different videos and I found out that how Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, they messed up America. They left the border open. They let all the illegal immigrants coming to our country. And then next time I had to do my research and I found out Obama ain't did nothing for America. Only thing he did for was took care of the homosexual people. So, I got a question. Another thing too, my auntie told me, I told my auntie one before that I started to support Trump. And then once I started doing my homework and I started doing all the research that how he making America great again, and now she got mad at me because I'm supporting Trump. What should I do?
You know, I have family members that got mad at me. I have family members that have cut me off completely simply because I'm supporting someone who's in office who's not going to be there forever. I mean, it's wild how they get so upset. They didn't get upset with me when I was supporting. I have issues telling people this, Gerard, but I voted for Obama. I didn't know any better. I thought Obama was going to do something positive, but all he did was bring more division. And because of Obama, it got me to start paying attention to things because of the stuff he was doing. I wasn't paying attention to politics until Obama and started doing stuff. And I'm like, this is not right. I started questioning it.
Mm-hmm.
So all I can say, look, because for me, once I started seeing the truth, you can't unsee it. You can't unsee it once you see it. And the thing is, I'm not hateful towards my family, even friends that I've had for more than 30 years. I'm not hateful towards them, but they don't want to talk to me any longer because I would have the audacity to wear a MAGA hat because it represents the country that I live in, just making it great, not just for people on the right, but for everybody. But they can't do it because they keep listening to the media.
And then, sir, another thing too. See, I'm gonna tell you one thing. Okay, another thing too. I had to look at it too. Okay, like I said though, I told my neighbors and stuff that I love President Trump and all this stuff, and they going around here. They think they know me, but at the same time though, they don't know me because you know what I'm saying. And then that thing, they go around here and spreading lies, and I was telling them, my neighbors and stuff, they spreading lies talking about, oh, President Trump done started the war. President Trump done started the war and everything. I said, no, President Trump did not start the war. I said, look, if you go back and do your research, I said, look here, President Trump actually ended the wars.
Yes. That's the whole point. He wants to end these wars. This has been a 47-year war that he wants to end. He wants to go down as the president who's ended these wars, not starting them. But they don't care. For them, all they know is that President Trump is being proactive. And that's where they're coming in trying to say that he's starting something because he's being proactive, where all the other presidents before him did nothing. Did nothing about it.
They did nothing. They did nothing about it, but my idea though about the leftists and the liberals, y'all, another thing too, y'all keep on bringing up the Epstein files, but they look the leftists well that President Trump's name is in those files. His name is not in those files.
Well, let me say this. let me say this, Gerard, because President Trump's name is in the files.
Okay.
But his name is in the files for Epstein hating President Trump. Epstein hated him. Did you know that President Trump, he was the first one to report Epstein. And after he reported Epstein to the law authority, Epstein hated President Trump. So his name is in the files, but the problem with they keep saying that they won't release all of the files. They keep saying that because they can't get anything with his name on there saying that he actually did something wrong. That's what they want. So to the end of time, because there's nothing in there showing President Trump did something wrong, they're always going to say that they're not releasing the files. That's all that they care about.
Yeah, and then another thing too. So I was in my auntie house, and I was doing some work. I was helping her with some work around the house. Now she on the phone now. She was on the phone now. Okay, this was the world. My auntie messed up my whole weekend. Like, I'm a grown man. I got my own apartment. I pay my own bill. So next thing you know, okay, I stay in Meridian, Mississippi. And next thing you know, okay, this was it is. Okay, she's like, okay, they had a little 4th of July celebration downtown. Okay, did you know one thing? I said, look at, she get mad at me like, okay, she took me to Walmart. Trying to get my apartment together. She bought me keys and everything. I respect what she was saying though. Stay at home because there was so much stuff going on. But she stopped me for celebrating the 250th anniversary of the 4th of July.
Wow. She
stopped me because, like I said one before, she got mad because, like I said, I was telling her the history about some of the history that I'm knowing. I'm looking at this video on Facebook, like, I watched your video, I watched the Unit video, then I watched the Chicago Flip Red video, how they, how they trying to bring America back on the map. And so next thing you know, okay, now, my auntie, look, this was the world. She got mad at me because she gonna tell me, oh man, you support Trump. She go to a church, the Pentecostal Church of God in Christ. See, these people, I love you enough. They like some type of cult. They want to go out here. They want to go out here. I know, I believe in God and all that. And they want to go out here. They want to try to control you. They want you, know what I'm saying? They want to be your puppet master. They think they can control your life. She trying to tell me what to wear, trying to tell me how to spend my money, and then trying to make around. She trying to tell me how to pay my bill. I know how to pay my bills. I know how to go grocery. Even though you helping me, but that means right there, you ain't got the right to try to control my life. And then next thing you know, like my aunt, her sister, you know what I'm saying? They my great auntie. That's my dad auntie. And now when I mention about President Trump, then now, okay, I played a video up in her car, like on Facebook, when every time I think President Trump was talking about, you know what I'm saying, when President Trump was speaking the truth fast about even Omar and them. Now, she got mad at me to my, I don't want you in my car playing that President Trump.
Wow. You know what's interesting, Gerard, is that aren't they the ones that's saying that we need to be open-minded? Don't you hear them say that? Like they're the ones that's open-minded, that they're the ones that's inclusive, that they're the ones that want, people to support whoever it is that they want. But then as soon as they find out that you're supporting President Trump, then they want to shut you down. It's just like free speech. You can say everything in the world that you want to, but you can't say that you support President Trump.
It's terrible though.
Say it again.
Terrible. And I told my aunt, I said, look here, you call yourself going to, I said, look here, you call yourself going to church every Sunday, reading your Bible and everything. But my thing is though, they don't mean you still. They don't mean you could be saved though. You still go out here have evil ways in your heart.
Yep. And you know what? That's you know what, Gerard. I refer to the Democrat Party as the Democrat Party because there's nothing evil and wicked under the sun that they don't support as a whole. Now, I'm not saying everybody in there is evil. I'm not saying that at all. But the Democrat Party as a whole, there's nothing that they don't support. I mean, they're all about socialism right now. It's crazy.
And she said she don't do no voting or nothing like that, but she said she believes everything in God. Well, my thing is, though, but you talking about you a Christian, you call yourself a so-called Christian and everything, but you trying to tell people how to live their life, though.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get her my true opinion. I then next thing I said, look at then like her sister over the phone, which is my other great auntie, she told me over the phone when I was there how we were sitting on the porch. And so she gonna tell me, oh, President Trump. I told my President Trump ain't do nothing for America, nothing like that. I told myself again, so I was helping her clean up one before. And so she it was like in the back room right there. She got a room in her house. I guess she gonna turn it to a bedroom, or she gonna leave it as another office. And she had like a black angel that somebody gave her. She gonna tell me, a little white person gave me. I said, Angela, why you gotta say it like that? Now I said, look at Angela. I said, Angela, you just being racist right there. That's where she gonna tell me, well, one of my daycare students gave me. I said, Angela, man, I told her in her face, I said, look at Angela, you're just being racist. That's all you real.
Yeah.
And she looked at me, she was mad.
Yeah, you know one thing, Gerard, when I stopped being a Democrat on the left, and I first I became independent because I didn't. This is like before Obama, and I became I became independent because I really didn't care for the Republicans, because I was always told that the Republicans were rich old white men and that's all they're for. And then I started, and then at the time I was in California. But in California, you have to either be a Democrat or a Republican, registered Republican, in order to participate in the primary. Well, I wanted to participate, so I had to select one, and I most definitely wasn't going to pick the Democrats because of the information that I've come across. So that's the first time I'm in California, of all places, and I became a registered Republican. And when I became a registered Republican, that's when I really started paying attention, because I said, okay, let me really look into this. And I'm like, no, you know what? Everything that I've been told about the Republicans has been a total lie. And then, but at the same time, I realized that the Republicans, they're weak in the knees, no backbone, spineless. And this is before President Trump. I'm like, they're not doing, these Democrats are doing all this stuff, and they don't, and the Republicans say nothing. They're like silent. So then I became a conservative. I was like, I'm a conservative. I'm not going to even own a Republican. I'm conservative. But today, I'm a MAGA Republican. I'm a MAGA Republican.
And another thing, too, I was telling my auntie, too, I said, look at Angela, you got to respect my boundaries. I said, look at, off and on, I do a little bit of work, right? Okay, and I was telling Angela, I said, look at Angela, sometimes, if I can't really do much, since I help one day, I said, look, I do a little part-time work. And then they say, no, since I'm on my I'm disabled. And I told Angela, I said, look at Angela. I said, Angela, you got to respect my boundaries. You know what she going to tell me?
What'd she say?
Hello?
What'd she say?
She said, that's why President Trump, that's why I'm talking about, if you go out there and go vote for president, that's why President Trump will have all your money.
Where do they get it from? Well, hey, Gerard, hey, man, thank you so much for the call. And you know what? Just stay strong. Just always stick with the truth. Stick with reality. That's all. I mean, that's the best thing you can do. That's all we can do.
Yes, sir.
So.
Yeah. And then I told the one before, I said, if you do your research,
yes,
the Democrats the one started the KKK.
Yep.
And then if they don't realize though, Abraham Lincoln, he was the first president. He was the first Republican president that helped free the slaves.
Yep, 100%. But they don't want to hear that. They want to hear that. Hey, Gerard, thank you so much for the call. Have a blessed weekend.
All right, thank you so much, man.
All right, take care.
You too.
All right, we got another one here. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name's Dieter, calling from Bolivar, Missouri.
What's your first name again?
Dieter.
Dieter.
It's German.
Oh, Dieter. What part of Germany? Do you know?
No, I was born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay. What you got, Dieter?
55. I'm gonna lay something out. It's something that I followed along because I follow stuff more than what normal people do.
Okay.
And this has got to do with Mitch McConnell. Now, you may remember the Francis Scott Key Bridge got knocked down about 2.5 years ago in Maryland.
I remember that. It was from a cargo ship, right?
That's right.
I remember that.
Now, about 2.5 years ago, Mitch McConnell, whose wife is Chinese, is one of 6 Chinese sisters that owns the world's largest shipping corporation in the world.
Okay.
And that bridge got knocked down 1 month after Mitch McConnell's sister-in-law drowned in her Tesla on her billionaire husband's ranch in Texas. And her billionaire husband withdrew investment in China 1 month before she drowned in that Tesla. Then a month later, the Francis Scott Key Bridge got knocked down by one of their ships.
So where's the connection?
Well, just can kind of put the dots together. This sister-in-law, Angela Chow, also happened to have been married to another American billionaire 10 years earlier, who died 9 months after they got married at the age of 61 from a heart attack in New York.
Yeah, I mean, have you heard about the Seth Rich? Oh. Okay, I was getting ready to continue, but disconnected. Okay, everybody. Hey, look. Phone line is open. I got a couple more minutes here. I'm going to stay on. Give me a call. 319-527-3453. I just adjusted it a second ago so people on TikTok can see it. I didn't realize it was getting cut off on TikTok, but now you can see it on TikTok, the phone number, if you want to give me a call. So I've yet to get someone to call me that's typically a keyboard warrior. I don't know why they don't call. They get behind that keyboard and they just get the tack. Will Johnson, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. But they never pick up the phone and call me. I mean, why not? I'm not that bad of a guy, am I? I'm not scary. I'm not scary, am I? Am I? I'm not that scary. Right? When y'all say, when you agree, I'm not that scary. So 319-527-3453. You see the number on the screen. And for those of you that are listening, 319-527-3453. So today they're talking about